Welcome to Zone In Sports, your favorite spot for real talk, bold takes, and everything in the zone when it comes to sports. From hard-hitting analysis of the Miami Hurricanes football to the hottest stories across the sports world, we're bringing you that energy, passion, and a little bit of swagger, just like the U. So whether you're tailgating in the Coral Gables or arguing in the group chats or just vibing in your way to work, buckle up. You're in the zone with your host, D. Hamp.
All righty, y'all. The NCAA killing the spring transfer portal window isn't just a national rule change. It directly affects and reshapes how the ACC competes. It might quietly favor Miami in more ways than people might know. Now, joining me to break it all down, coming on stage, bigger than E, we finna hop into this, and I'm finna pose some questions to him. We're gonna cover this in so many different angles. We're gonna cover from a team perspective. We're gonna cover from a coaching perspective. We're gonna cover it from a player's perspective because their thoughts matter too with the spring portal. What's going on first out there, E?
Oh, nothing much, man. Just glad it's the weekend.
It's
It's been a long week. It's been a long week on the railroad, brothers. It's a good week, good time to be off, man. Enjoy these 2 days because they're gonna go back quick, and before you know it, back at it on Monday.
All right, we're gonna hop in this. All right. So doing this research for this transfer portal, the spring portal being the only portal coming in, and it made me think of first how it overall affected the team before we get into the nuts and bolts about the rosters and stuff like that. And at first glance, well, it is good for the team overall. Would you agree there? Just having one.
Oh yeah, it's
Okay.
good. I mean, it's each team has a need or what they want to do, and as far as Miami is concerned, I think Mario did a great job. I give him an A+. Him and his staff with this portal as far as addressing what they needed. It's going to be you in the beginning. You would think it was going to be difficult to replace a Keontae Scott and a Jacoby Thomas on defense, But I think they got a couple guys that could quite possibly be excellent replacements. The young man they got from Boston College, he's a dog.
Right.
He's a dog. Now, whether he plays safety or play what Keontae did, that nickel type position, we're going to see. But he's a dog after watching his film.
Right.
And I thought, they did a great job in addressing that because we had some special guys on defense.
Right.
I give our defense this past season, I give our defense a B+. And the only reason why I don't give it an A- or better is because I thought, and giving Heatherman the benefit of the doubt, this is first year as DC, I felt like we gave up too much in the passing game, not just against Indiana, but I went back and watched the Ole Miss game, and I went back and looked at the Florida State game, games in which other teams started to come back in the second half with the passing game with relatively short time. And I didn't like the soft coverage. And I felt like we had the right people. The personnel was right. The scheme wasn't right. And, specifically that Ole Miss game, after Carson scored the go-ahead touchdown with 30-some seconds left, that should have been the game.
Yeah.
There's no way they should be able to throw the ball down the field 3-4 times and set themselves up for what could have possibly been a game-winning Hail Mary type touchdown. So, having said that, there was key people on that defense that are no longer going to be there, mainly Keontae and Jacoby Thomas. So I thought that they addressed those concerns, getting the guys that they got on the defense. They picked up a guy from Florida State. He's a dog. They got my man from Boston College. He's a dog. And I think with this being Heatherman's second year, he's going to make the necessary adjustments as far as scheming and how to play in certain situations. And I want the Miami defense to kind of lock that pass down a little bit better. Even against A&M, They were able to, after Malachi scored to go up 10-3, they were able to remember to work their way right down the field and could have potentially
Right.
tied the game.
Hold on, before we get into that, we're going to stick strictly to this transfer because
Well,
I
yeah,
want to.
so I mean, just
I want
just
to know
saying on
your.
that, you know,
Yeah.
they addressed the needs of these guys leaving as seniors with more guys that could fill those roles that are just the same type of players.
But what if this happens? And it made me think, with no spring transfer, nothing after the portal now, this is one thing that helps Miami in a way and could possibly hurt them in a way, hurts other teams in the ACC a lot more. It's because what if one of your dogs that you bring in get hurt? Remember, they picked up players after the spring portal last year. So now with that being in effect now, people got to remember this. Is a lot of people want to dog people from not recruiting freshmen, want to use the heavily in the portal. But now if you don't recruit well now, and you have an injury in spring training now, you can't go pick up a guy now like you could.
Well, I mean, that goes back to how it always was.
Yeah.
You take that risk in spring practice that somebody may get hurt, that somebody may tear an ACL or bum shoulder or bum elbow. That's the risk you take. That's the gamble with the sport. This is a physical sport. You're not practicing touch or flag during the spring. You got live action going on. So this is the gamble that every college team faces, whether it's D1 or D2. So you have to roll with it.
Yeah.
And Miami does have some freshmen and sophomores that have played. There's a linebacker that's going to be a sophomore this year that people haven't really been paying attention to.
And Wiley?
He's a Miami native.
Yeah, Keelan Wiley Jr., I think.
I think his name would start with a K, and he's a dog, but he was on special teams. He was on kickoffs and punts, and he used that I think he's gonna get some rotation now at linebacker.
But this is I always say the pro that Miami have, that's what I'm saying, is hurting the other ACC because it's only a handful of teams that can compete recruiting with Miami. You know, Clemson and Florida State. They can really compete with them recruiting.
The ladder has really fallen off.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying.
I mean, no pun intended. I mean,
right.
they have
but
really,
out of this, every school in the ACC,
Clemson can compete, but I think Clemson is taking some steps back because they lost a lot of coaches and coordinators that Dabo had during his run when he was winning natties and competing for natties. All those assistant coaches are gone. Those staffers are gone, and he didn't go in the portal. He was stubborn about that, and you see the last, I'd say probably 3 to 4 seasons, it's affected Clemson as far as how they play and their record. They're not the same Clemson they used to be.
Right, might help them out now because
it might. I think the one team Miami got to watch out for in the ACC is going to be SMU.
Now we strictly talking about just recruiting. Now I
get what you're saying. Yeah. So when you talk about recruiting, I think Miami has done far better with the high school recruiting.
Yeah,
Mario has not thrown all his eggs in the transfer portal basket. He didn't make the same mistake Mike Norvell did.
Right.
Okay, and that really hurt Florida State. There are other teams outside of the ACC that have really heavily gone into the portal to try to supplement, and they haven't filled with the high school rankings. When you look at National Signing Day, is not what it used to be. I used to take off for that. I used to take off work to come home and watch National Signing, have 2 laptops and a phone and ESPN on, and it's not the same now because of the portal.
Right.
But certain schools, Miami included, still recruit very heavily in the high school. Notre Dame, Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama's still doing it. Clemson's still in there. The team, and I'm gonna go back to what Mario said probably a couple years ago. The schools that still invest in high school, and that's gonna be the core of your team, The freshmen and sophomores that you have are going to eventually become the juniors and maybe seniors that could be a team that leads you on a run.
Mm-hmm.
These are the teams that are going to be successful.
I wonder did they lobby for that too, some of these bigger schools, because to me, I found one interesting thing about why they closed the portal, and it made me think of something that happened with Miami and every team, where you had a kid that came in spring. All of a sudden, he got knocked down the depth chart.
Then they want to bounce.
Then they want to bounce. Now you're locked in. You got that depth now. So it's just an interesting. That's what I wanted to touch on that. What do you think about that now? See, that gives the stability to the roster also.
It gives stability to the roster, and it's going to make these young men think. I can't. If I want to, they got to think long and hard before the decision what they want to do, because there ain't no guarantees.
Right.
Just because you go somewhere don't mean you're going to start. You may not be the number one on the depth chart.
Mm-hmm.
You may have to work your way to that. You may have to compete with other guys like you that are 4 and 5 star players like you. They were Mr. So-and-so in their state and city too.
Mm-hmm.
That's what goes back to what I said before. That's how Alabama started losing kids. If I'm a 5-star running back and Nick Saban come and get me, I'm in a room now with 3 or 4 other 5-star running backs. Now I'm not Mr. the Man now. I was the Mr. the Man in my state, but now here there go old boy from that state and this dude from it creates the competition. Now the guys that want to compete will compete. The guys that want to bow out, they're going to hit the portal when the window was open and try to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got different circumstances, just
right.
like my man, the linebacker that left to go to NC State. I understand his reasoning for leaving Miami to go there because he wanted more starts
right.
at middle linebacker. But now these kids coming in with this final window,
mm-hmm.
you locked in now.
So that flexibility is gone for them.
Right.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And that's good they took this away from that because there was too much going on.
Well, what you think? All right, so we're talking about the flexibility. Okay, so does that mean now, or potentially mean now, instead of having a gradual exit of transfer portals, now when it hits the one time, you might have a big exit at the end now. You know, since you take away a portal, you might have had a couple of guys to go in the spring, and then you have some go at the end of the season. Now you take it away the spring, you had a guy potentially on your roster that might not be happy with playing time. So now you got a disgruntled player that might be on your team that can negatively affect your team. And you know what I'm saying? So it's some double-edged things there.
Dwayne, I think that comes down to the staff and the coaches now with the communicating with the players.
Yeah.
When they get there. Nothing is guaranteed. Okay. These young men today are going to have to learn that they got to put in the work. We have an entire generation of people that think things are supposed to be given to them, not just with football, but with life. We see it all the time.
Yep.
These young people think that they're entitled to stuff. And no, you have to compete. If you can't compete, I'm pretty sure these coaching staffs are telling these kids before they sign on the dotted line, don't even bother coming here. If you're not going to be willing to put in the work and compete,
mm-hmm.
don't come here. Go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So that will eliminate. I think Mario and them are doing a good job because they tell certain kids, hey, you might want to hit the portal.
Yeah.
That's what Deion did. Deion was just more brash about it.
But even hitting the portal, like you say, it's no guarantee.
There's no guarantee. But if I'm telling you as a player, hey, listen, you're not going to fit what we need here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And we're telling you this as a courtesy. I'm telling you, Mr. Hampton, we like you. You're a nice young man, but you're not going to fit what we need. You're not going to get past 4 or 3 on the depth chart because I've already got some established talent that's ahead of you.
Right.
So it's your choice if you want to stay here and work, maybe work your way into special teams or work your way into a 3rd or 4th row, or we'll tell you, hey, man, you'd be better served to go to the transfer portal and possibly go to another school where you could quite possibly be a starter. It may be a smaller school. It may be a different school in this conference or a different conference. But if you may fit somebody else's needs but you're not fitting our needs. And that's a courtesy. Back in the day, you didn't get that courtesy. Wasn't no portal. You was on the team. Now what you gonna do with it?
Right. What's up, Orange and Green? Hey, and then think of this, which I'd never even thought of before. Remember last season, and we had this conversation, how guys get on the field and they want to showcase in the spring practice, and they showcase them because now you got teams with NIL money that want to come in, and now they throwing a bag at them to lure them away. So it's an interesting dynamic since you don't have that now. Now you don't have that extra pressure, NIL bags getting thrown at kids throughout the spring training, where you could actually focus on developing guys through the spring training of them not leaving.
See, that eliminates that mess too. If you know in the back of your mind, I don't want to be in Miami, or I don't want to be in Missouri, or wherever, right? And you know there's another portal window open after the spring. I'm gonna go out here and show out in hopes that another team takes interest in me, and then I can hit the portal.
Right.
By the NCAA eliminating and ridding themselves of this second window, now the same kid that was going to show out to leave, he has a choice. I can either show out to better position myself on this roster, or I'm just going to be at the back of the bus. I'm going to have a clean uniform every Saturday because I ain't playing.
Right.
I'm just on the sidelines. I'm basically a cheerleader for my team because I'm not getting any playing time. So it's going to force these boys to have to work, man. You just go out to work.
And I guess I'm kind of, I'm kind of glass half full guy, because we put a lot of faith in these young guys that's not used to things being their way the last couple of years.
But it's always been like that, Dwayne.
I know.
Even back in the day, in the 70s and the 80s and 90s, certain kids, if they are gifted beyond a doubt of who they are, they're gonna do what they have to do to position themselves.
But it's not that many gifted kids. That's the problem with what the NIL portal ran rapid. That's how you have 4,000 kids in the portal, and we know 4,000 football players are not gifted.
No, they're not. And a lot of them are out of. And you know what? A lot of them just ended their careers playing football because they had 1,500 and some kids in this last portal window, and 15 of them, 100 of them didn't get picked up.
Yeah.
So if you can't go back to your old school, you're done playing ball unless you start all over again the following year and try to go to a new school. So it puts a lot of on the person's plate individually to make that decision. Is this what I want to do?
Yeah, and
it's not everybody. There's no guarantee you're gonna get picked up in the portal.
Now, from a player's perspective, it makes you what you just said. This kid or I hate to call them kids. These young adults enter the portal. Some of them don't get picked up. They're past the window of signing. I'm not even talking about playing football, but even enrolling into a school
for a spring semester.
Yeah. So now
you out of football and out of school.
Yeah. It's a lot of things that the young folks got to think about.
They have to think about this. They have to think about it. And the transfer portal and the NIL needs to be tweaked because these kids and these young men, they still kids, 18, 19, 20. We was that age. You still a kid in the mind. You still immature.
Yeah.
You're immature. They are being led astray by adults.
Yeah.
That are saying
because of money.
I think the NCAA needs to focus on that. These so-called, they're not agents, they're advisors or whatever title you want to give them. They're telling these young men, hey, you might want to hit the portal and try your. If I'm a nobody, I shouldn't say a nobody, but if I'm not at that level of athlete where I'm garnering that type of attention in my position, it may not be in my best interest to go in the portal unless I'm willing to go somewhere that may be a smaller type school that might not be a Michigan. Maybe it's a Central Michigan or Eastern Michigan.
Right.
If it's not a Missouri, maybe it's a Missouri State or a SEMO or a Lindenwood. I've seen guys that are really good at JUCO, really good, but they not D1 good.
Right.
One or two of them might get picked up to go to the Division I level.
Right.
They are really good at that.
And some of them might just get picked up and be on special teams, and then they crush.
Exactly. And I'm not just talking football. I'm talking basketball too.
Well, yeah.
I've seen guys that you think, man, this dude can hoop, he a ball. I've seen it. Mineral Area College. I've seen it. And out of all these cats, one of them might get picked up by a D1 school in basketball. Just one. It's the same in football.
Right.
Not every dude at JUCO get picked up at a D1 school. You transfer, okay, it don't always happen like that. You don't have a Bryant McKinney all the time.
Right.
You don't have a Cam Ward all the time that didn't get looked at by anybody and went to a little bitty school out in California or Texas, a nobody school, a Division AA, and then all of a sudden, the only team that took interest was Washington State.
Right.
Okay, you see how it?
Yeah.
Not every kid is like that. So, you might not be D1 material. And that's in all sports. I don't care if it's wrestling, swimming. Yeah. I've seen it all. You could be really good at your level. But the ones at the level up, they are even that much better. So for you to crack into that, and it's the same with football. So I think a lot of these young men are being ill-advised by these so-called advisors or agents for these college players. Go hit the portal. Go hit the portal. First of all, trying to chase a bag, and you might not be bag material.
True.
True. You might not be. You probably aren't. I don't think Popo Aguirre, he's really good as a linebacker, and he got on with NC State. And like I said, he had his reasons for leaving Miami.
Yeah.
I understand that, hey, if he gets 100 tackles, it's going to change his life, especially as a senior. It's going to elevate him in the draft. He's going to make more of a name for himself.
Right.
But if you another kid that's just been on special teams and you're going to try to test the waters, you have to be careful.
Right. That's true.
You have to be very careful, man, because somebody might not pick you up.
And that goes back into what I was just thinking about, the miscalculations of certain players, because now with the one portal, and it's not exclusive to Miami or just all schools and all sports, that you really have to have people evaluate, because it's so important now. If you get the wrong player, now he's locked in for a year or two, and you don't have that extra portal to go get somebody.
And that's why Cristobal, what I like about him also is he does more than just evaluate your on-the-field talent. He evaluates you as a person, your family, what kind of family you come from. That all plays a part. One might say, well, man, this is just football. I say, yeah, you could have a really good player on the team, but he could be a cancer.
True.
He could be a cancer in the locker room, man. He might, athletically, he might be all that and then some, but everything else is just, it ain't right. It's a negative vibe. It's the energy ain't right. And you don't want a cancer in your locker room, no matter what sport it is.
Right.
Like you said, as far as this transfer portal goes, it's not just football. It's all sports.
Yeah, all sports.
Kids are transferring in volleyball and wrestling and swimming and all sports. So it's going to shut a lot of this down.
Yeah.
It's going to make these these student athletes, because that's what they are.
Yeah. And people lose sight of that they're student athletes.
Student athletes, it's going to give them all a moment of pause. That, hey, I better think twice and long and hard and talk with my parents or parent or uncles and aunts and talk with people that have your best interest at heart about what you need to do or what you may want to do and what's the best move, versus talking to an agent/advisor telling you, hey, they trying to get a percentage of your bag if you get a bag. Okay, that's what it come down to. I'm not going to advise a kid to make a move because trying to get a bag. If I'm not getting something out of it, what do I get out of it?
Right.
I'm no kin to you.
Yeah. And so now it really goes back to now just telling, especially us that follow the Canes and people that follow sports in general, you can now focus, or the team can actually focus on spring training. Mario and any other coach doesn't have to worry about somebody trying to poach somebody. Right. Or you remember last year we had this big debate about closed practices, how Ryan Day and some of them guys was going to closed practices because they were scared guys was going to get poached in the NIL spring portal. So we can get away from a lot of that talk now, because now it's just about the practice. Yeah.
It's over. If you in, you locked in.
Yeah.
Now you got to put in the work. What type of player and teammate do you want to be?
Yeah.
What can you bring to the table? What are you willing to do? And it's going to force all these student athletes here, regardless of what sport they're in.
Yeah.
Track, basketball, whatever. It's going to make you put in the work. What kind of college career athletically do you want to have?
Yeah.
All y'all got to go to class, but aside from your academics, whatever sports you're in, what do you want to make of it? Because you're here now. There's no more window in the spring, in late April, to say, okay, I'm not liking it here. I don't think I'm going to have a spot here. Let me throw my hat out there, my name in the hat, and see if I can land somewhere else. That's over now. And I'm kind of glad for that, because
me too.
I'm kind of glad for that, because it helps every team. It don't hurt teams. It makes these kids accountable to themselves.
And that's the part that's going to get a little sticky because of the situation. Well, I shouldn't even say that, because they didn't have time to figure this out. So they can't have it there all the way that they want it. But I thought about this. So your top of the programs, your top programs in each conference, you're going to have better NIL retention. You're going to have more stable rosters because of that, and less spring poachers. So the middle of it is the middle tier teams. It's because since they don't recruit as well, they relied on that extra portal. They relied on somebody being unhappy at Miami or somebody being unhappy at Georgia.
Well, even this time around, look at this the rankings for the transfers. Virginia Tech got 40 guys out the portal.
That's crazy.
That is absolutely James Franklin went out, the new coach that came from Penn State.
Penn State, yeah.
He brought guys. Remember now, he brought guys from Penn State.
Yeah.
And he went out and they got 40 transfer dudes.
That's crazy. I mean, I give you a pass, but that's you just tore the whole roster down. Out of what, 100, what is on the roster? 100 and what? 100 plus kids on the roster? That's crazy.
That's
almost half the
crazy,
roster.
Man, to me, that you went out and got that many players.
But he had to do it early, because you know what? Going back to what we said, if he comes into spring training, middle of the road team, if your roster bad, there's no way to upgrade it after spring training. So if you got a bad player at a position after spring training, you look at them through a spring training.
I misspoke. I'm
okay.
Sorry. LSU got 40 guys out the portal.
Okay.
Virginia Tech got 25. Louisville got 31. Arkansas got 41.
Jesus Christ.
You could tell that Notre Dame only signed 7.
Yeah.
Okay. A&M got 18. Houston got 17. Texas got 18 guys. You could tell the lower Indiana got 17 guys. Texas Tech got 21. These were your top 10 teams in the portal.
Yeah.
This past portal window. So you could tell the teams that heavily recruited high school and just plugged in a few, Miami being one of them.
Yeah, I think we're around 12 or
Notre Dame sitting at 7. That's letting you know that they have done a very good job recruiting. The Notre Dame brand sells.
Yeah.
It speaks for itself. So when they know they're a top tier academic institution. This ain't like one of these big SEC state schools where all you got to do is come in and do a little basket weaving and play sports.
Right.
I know they ain't going to like that down there in them southern schools. It is what it is.
Right.
Y'all gave them cats a brand new charger and they couldn't read past the 8th grade level, but they could ball out.
Right.
Okay, and you got tutors for them.
I ain't with the jackets though at Notre Dame. I ain't with all that.
So when you get to a school like Notre Dame or Miami or Georgia Tech or Vanderbilt, these are academic schools.
Yeah.
And you got to keep a certain academic standards, and they're trying to excel athletically.
Right.
And all of them have football-wise, Miami, Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech, and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Notre Dame and Miami being bigger brands than the other two, but still, if you want to come here, you have to keep grades. We about academics too. So the teams that have really went heavily in the portal, they haven't really gone heavy with the high school.
Right.
You know, Virginia is outdoing Virginia Tech in that part of the country.
Yeah.
A lot of guys in that part of the country, same with, they poaching kids from the Carolinas, from NC State. Now Duke is up there in football.
Yeah.
Okay, so they knocking at the back door NC State and North Carolina for recruits.
Yeah.
So Maryland losing people to schools like I just mentioned, to like a Virginia. Virginia didn't go heavy in the portal because they've been doing a lot of good high school recruiting in that part of the country, and they've dipped and dapped outside. They got a good football team. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
So the teams that have went heavy in the portal, they failed with the high school.
Yeah.
A la Florida State a couple years ago. They had the best team in the country. They got screwed by the cable sports network. They had the best defense in the country. They won the ACC, was undefeated, and left out of the playoff. Total BS.
That's crazy.
But Norvell gambled, and it paid off for him till his quarterback got hurt. And I don't even blame Norvell for that, because they got screwed over by the cable sports network and the committee.
Yeah.
But they went so hard in the paint with the transfer, and they got top dudes, and they went undefeated. And I really think in 23 they would have won the Natty. I really think they would have won that Natty.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
They didn't get the opportunity because they kept them out. But the flip side was, when all them cats opted out for that bowl game because they were going pro, then Georgia dog walked them, and the next year, what happened to them? They went
off like a cliff. Yeah,
they fell off the cliff so hard, they fell into some water, they were drowning so bad.
And now Norvell trying to show that he can actually make inroads in the state of Florida, and it's hard when you
already behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, and you put this model out there where you would just bring somebody in, and this kid you bringing in as a freshman, like, you ain't really invested in me.
Look at Miami. Miami run the state now. Look who is second place. It's damn near a tie between Florida and Central Florida now, because old boy that left Ohio State is the head coach now.
Right.
He was the guy that was coming down, getting all the top wide receivers out of Miami to go, to Ohio State.
Yeah.
So Ohio State been claiming for the last 10 years.
Yeah, Heartline. Yeah.
We wide receiver you, because he done come down to South Florida and got some of the best dudes, and some of them, like Amari Cooper, went to Bama.
Yeah.
See, that's what's hurting Norvell.
Yeah.
And a lot of these, and I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to tell you who else is making inroads with some of these kids. FAMU and Bethune.
Yeah. And old boy that just left and went to Auburn. I think he gonna.
Oh yeah, old boy if he would have stayed in South Florida.
Yeah.
Man, now that Byron Brown, did he grab? He
went to Auburn.
See,
yeah,
and the way I can't blame him, because you going from the American Athletic Conference, now you jump into
the SEC. So yeah,
Auburn trying to make a move.
Yeah,
because they figure, LSU done made a move. Ole Miss already made a move.
Yeah.
You still got to deal with Bama and Georgia. A&M been making moves. Auburn don't want to get left behind. Tennessee trying to keep their quarterback. Kentucky then fell off.
Yeah.
Don't know what Missouri gonna do.
True.
Okay, so Auburn made some moves.
Yeah.
Byron Brown ain't a bad dude, and that coach ain't a bad coach. He was getting good players at South. It hurts South Florida now.
Yeah.
But my man taking over in Central Florida, that's the team to watch. They in the Big 12, ain't they?
Big 12, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the team to watch, because he can recruit.
Yeah.
And you think he gonna give up coming to South Florida? No.
Yeah. So all right, so let's switch over to the player's perspective. So we already know this is the first year that they had this window. And within the window, players need time to adjust. Now, of course, these guys getting scholarships, they get NIL money, You need to
Some of
just,
them.
well, some of them, but how big of a change do you think it's going to be? And do you think it'll hurt some of the continuity, not just at Miami, at other schools? Because I guarantee you, we're going to come here midway through the season, and some player on some team going to be so disgruntled, it's going to be like the NFL. He's going to sit out. He's
Not
going
if
to
you
do
got a
something
solid
crazy.
coaching staff. Not if you have a solid coaching staff that lets you know from the jump, this is what it is. If you let these kids know from the beginning, it's like a job. It's like going to school. The teacher gonna let you know what it is in the classroom day one.
Yeah.
When you go on your job, your supervisor, manager gonna let you know how it is day one.
Well, you're giving these kids a lot of credit. Boy, these suckers don't even want to follow rules, half of them.
No. You know what? You're going to find yourself out the door.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because
I don't
truthfully, you
care if
can't
it's
be
at
cut.
work.
Yeah.
It could be at work. It could be at school. It could be on the team. You're going to find yourself on the outside looking in because we're running a program here.
Right.
I'm running a business here. We're running an operation here. If you can't fit in with what's going on, we'll find somebody else.
Let's take a couple
And
questions
I think
real quick.
at this point with Cristobal, he's a very good evaluator, not just of talent, but character.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the linebacker that was throwing shade when he hit the portal. I don't know where he went.
From that left Miami and went somewhere?
Yeah.
Not the one that went to Mizzou. Did he go to Mizzou?
Was that him? He threw a little shade at Miami, talking about, they shitting on guys that really love Miami and really want to.
I did read that quote. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, dude, I think he got outshined by the freshman boy I was telling you about.
Yeah, about Keelan Wiley Jr. because he was, yeah.
Look, man, you was there all year. You ran with this team all year, all through the playoffs. Now you want to come out and say this?
Right.
What was the other problem going on? If you couldn't, was you not getting playing time? Did you not put in the work?
Right.
Did you even get on the special team? Because they said this freshman dude, and I think he went to Miami Northwestern. Either he went there or he went to, what's the other team that wore green and white out of Miami, the Rockets?
I'm pretty sure you're talking about.
I think he wears number 50. He's only 6 foot. He ain't a really tall guy, but they said the way he worked, he put in the work.
Yeah.
And he worked his way on the special teams. And now this season, they said this dude gonna work his way into the rotation.
Yeah.
It ain't about the height because Denzel Perryman wasn't tight, and you see what he did.
Right. Yeah.
And he's still doing it now in the NFL, and he's 6 foot.
Right. It says somebody said, sorry to get you guys off subject, folks. Who are you hearing will be the running back coach replacement? I haven't heard.
I know people throwing Porter's name out there, but I don't know who they're gonna get. I can't blame my man for leaving for the NFL.
No.
I'm not mad at him at all. You know what I'm saying? You as an assistant coach with a college and an NFL team calling you, that's more money.
More money.
That's way more money. That's a promotion. Hey, I ain't mad at him.
He said, I enjoy listening. Love and all facts. Right on now.
Appreciate it.
What else we got up in here before we move on? Say, do y'all think Miami will run the table?
At the very least, I say 11-1, and that one loss is if they get cheated at Notre Dame.
I've been looking at their schedule, barring injury. I think they potentially will. Yeah. And the reason why I think they probably will is because, like he said, the Notre Dame game gets a little tricky.
It's 50-50.
But I will say this, that a lot of people thinking Notre Dame is super motivated. I think Miami is even more motivated. Yeah. They're going to be on the road. They're going to feel like all these teams saying that they shouldn't have been in the playoffs, which, of course, they proved. But the Notre Dame people, I'm saying this. And I think they're going to come in South Bend, and they're going to want to make a statement.
This game is going to be, and I'm hoping I can go to this game. This game is going to be, when it gets here, I hate to jump 9 months ahead now because that means we're getting cold again.
Right.
That game is going to be huge.
Yeah.
And there are other games that are really big that day on that schedule. Other big.
I don't think it's going to be too many bigger than that. Not with the.
No, I'm hoping this is a day game. I really do. I don't want this to be a prime time foot. I hope it's a 2:30 kickoff with 3:30 their time because they Eastern time. I'm really hoping this is a day game. It is a nice sunny day. November 7th shouldn't be too awfully cold up there. Not that matters anyway.
Right.
There are like 4 or 5 other big time football games that day. And I'm willing to bet that the cable sports network gonna make that game another game prime time in the SEC. Unless
they'll be undefeated.
Right. Unless NBC carries this game for Notre Dame. But this game is gonna be, if they both undefeated, my goodness.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
And I'm at the point where it don't matter who win or lose this game because both teams will be in the playoff. It could very well set up a rematch in the playoff.
Yeah,
if they, depending on where they get seated, if it gets to that point. So, barring any injuries or any other BS that come along with a player getting in trouble or beating up his girlfriend, and hopefully nothing stupid like that. And that's
they'll be like Georgia, get another guy arrested again. This is what's up, kinfolk? Hope you brothers are doing good. Right, what's up there? 850. Miami Central.
Miami Central. Okay, I saw a video on that boy.
Okay, hey, what's his name that we keep talking about at Miami Central?
They say he a dog. He a dog with it.
And what's the guy name? Somebody put it in the chat. Came out of Miami Central linebacker.
Working his tail off.
Says nobody would know who the running back coach is or the tight end coaches until Mario announces them. He runs a tight ship. True, and whoever is, yeah.
Loose lips sink ships. Keep it tight.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think nobody will know until
we don't know who they. I've been hearing all kind of rumors.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "Well, why don't we get Olsen as a tight end coach? Because Olsen ain't gonna leave that cushy broadcasting job."
Nah, he good. Yeah,
I could see Portis because Portis was the running back coach already for Delaware State or something.
Yeah,
and they said he was pretty good as a running back coach. I could see that maybe. I could see them maybe not messing with him because of his past transgressions with other issues away from football when he was a Redskin. We don't know. All I know is I trust that Mario gonna get the right people. I trust that.
Yeah. Whoever he get.
He made his mistakes. He made his mistakes with the OC, getting the dude from Michigan. He bombed, got rid of him. I like Shannon Dawson. I'm going to say it for the record. I like Shannon Dawson. Does Shannon make all the right calls sometimes? And for me, not always. Overall, okay. I like Shannon Dawson.
Who's he talking about? Ezekiel Marcelin? Is that it?
I'm going to have to pull up their roster. I know his face when I see him. The kid. I seen highlights on the kid, and they said he was so good in practice.
Well, one thing we do know, Maury gonna get somebody, of course, that can help him recruiting. So that's somebody that works diligently like him.
They said the boy was so good that.
So I don't have any doubt Mario, whoever he gets, I think, I see people put Clinton, and I hope he get Clinton too, because I love Clinton as his career and what he's done. But, ultimately it comes down to Mario and whoever he gets, I would say don't be disappointed because he's going to get somebody, that fits what he wants. What we got? Say Marcus Freeman got too much hair paint seeping in his head, got him thinking he's gonna win. Oh man.
I ain't gonna do him like that.
Yeah, we're gonna leave Marcus alone, man.
I like Marcus.
He seems like a good dude, man. But I think he got a lot of pressure too. I think they trying to lure him to the NFL. I think that I think it's just a lot of stuff going on in South Bend. Even if you're going back to the Brian Kelly days of why he left, it's a great program for its history, but it ain't like the Lou Holtz days where coaches kind of want to stay there because of the money aspect. They get so much money at these other programs that they throwing big bags at them, and just Notre Dame just hasn't seemed to want to pay their coaches like that, that they paying. That's kind of why Brian Kelly left, because they threw him so much money.
That's him, Ezekiel Marcelin Jr.
Yeah, okay.
That's him. Dude, a monster. They got him listed at 5'11". He went to Miami Central, but he been busting his ass so hard. He worked his way on the kickoffs and punts.
Yeah.
Okay, and he I think he did get a few opportunities to play on certain downs.
Yeah.
And he gonna get a shot to get some in the rotation, because they said he putting in the work.
Yeah.
He's a dog. I don't care if he's 5'11", 230 pounds.
No, don't make a difference.
Don't make me listen, man. Watching these, I went back and watched A&M again for the umpteenth time. All the playoff games, even the Indiana game. And it's going to be hard trying to replace a Keontae Scott.
Yeah.
Super and hard. A Jacoby Thomas.
Yeah, they was fist. Them boys was everywhere.
Let me tell you, I'm so disappointed with what happened when we was down there, bro. I'm very disappointed, because I really feel like they were better than Indiana. They really were. I mean, I hate to go back and rehash that, but I just feel like, gosh darn, we had all the right dudes. You had dogs all over the field, man. And we ain't had nothing like this in 20 plus years. Now, having said it, I think we got a lot of dogs coming back.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and they hungry. That's why I said that's why the game with Notre Dame gonna mean a lot, because
you got guys on that team
that they took that L.
Yeah.
They sat there and watched all the red and white confetti come down in their home stadium.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm saying.
They felt some kind of way about that. And that's why I'm saying, if the national pundits, one dude from CBS had Miami #1 and going all the way to the championship.
I've seen a lot of people have Notre Dame #1. That's crazy. You got an interesting.
He had him #1 and he had Notre Dame #2, and people say, well, that don't make any sense because they already played each other. How can they be 1 and 2? I'm like, it can happen.
Yeah, it's D and E. I have a shocking prediction. I can see Jabari becoming the starter across from OJ, and they end up moving Xavier to safety. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
I mean, maybe do you want to do that? Because you got Poyser, you got Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
You got a guy from the portal coming in as a safety.
Yeah. Now he rotate a lot, Heatherman through. So
I think O'Connor is going to get better at corner. He's only a freshman.
Yeah.
People were down.
He learned a lot. Yeah.
He learned a lot. Listen, when you play with fire, you get burned and you learn.
Yeah.
And I think he learned the same way O.J. Frederick did against Syracuse when he was getting targeted.
You got to remember, O'Connor played against elite talent. You playing in the national championship game. You don't get on a bigger stage than that. You can't do nothing but learn from a stage.
You're not playing the receivers from NC State,
right?
Syracuse or Stanford. You're playing against these cats was 24 and 25 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So I think with that, and I'm not putting the Indiana loss on him. Their staff made a conscious decision. Lucas and Frederick had the other two boys that was his big time receivers locked down. So they went to number 80 on O'Connor and worked him over.
Yeah. And it happens.
And it happens. I mean, and I ain't blaming Mario. I'm not blaming O'Connor. The only thing I blame in that game is we shouldn't have abandoned the run in the first half. And it's over and done with. But I like who we got coming in out the portal.
Yeah, I do too.
I like the dude from Boston College, a dog. He's a dog. The dude from Florida State, he's a dog.
Yeah. He says kind of like what I said, that you said you weren't worried about. Who is that? Luke? Yeah, Luke says if the O-line is good, then we natty bound. Simple. Remember I told you, I said, I ain't worried about the O-line. I'm worried about how soon will they jail because of
I'm not worried about it either. I think they'll have all the spring and in the summer to get it together and then come fall practice to tune it in. But I'm not worried about that line.
Well, O'Connor, a sophomore this year, right? He wasn't the first.
He was a sophomore?
He said he was a sophomore. Was he a sophomore when he played? this year? I thought he was a freshman this year.
Maybe he was a redshirt sophomore.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah, somebody could correct us if we're wrong on that one.
I'm not sure either. But like I said, he's going to be – I'm not worried about him. I'll look him up right now.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm not mad at that boy. I mean, you know, they going to have to work on his hand skills.
Oh, he a redshirt freshman. That's what somebody put.
There it is. Okay. It says right here he was a redshirt sophomore.
Somebody said redshirt freshman. He was a redshirt sophomore.
I'm looking at the official.
Well, but now he's a redshirt sophomore this year.
This past season, he was a redshirt sophomore.
Okay.
So he's from California. So I mean, I ain't worried about him, man. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He dropped that pick. He could have had a pick 6. He'll be all right.
Yeah.
Young dude out there, you playing the best or second best team in the country.
Yeah.
As each week went on, you started with A&M and they had good receiver. You go to Ohio State, you know what they're bringing. Now you at Ole Miss, you know he like to throw the rock all over, and now you, like I said, I'm thinking Heatherman going to tweak some things with that defense, show up that run, and lock down, get a little bit more lockdown with the passing. I'm not worried about it, man. I looked at the schedule. They ran the schematics, the percentages, and Miami going to be favored in every game, even Clemson. The only game they're not going to be favored in at this time,
it'd be the Notre Dame game.
Notre Dame. They giving Notre Dame 54-46 on Miami because it's a home game for them, and because right now everybody got the sympathy bug for them. I don't. But y'all, they some quitters to me. I tell them all the time, y'all quit. Y'all didn't want to play in a bowl game. That's a bitch move to me.
Yeah. Now the funny part, I look at made me think of this with the portal and even football now. There's no more excuses that people can put on, I'm going to say Mario, but it really pertains to a lot of coaches about development. If you take that spring portal out, now you have that whole season to develop players how you want to develop them. So people can really get a fair assessment of how Nickel and Coleman, how these guys going to be developed, because you don't have a chance.
The spring practice start in what?
I don't
Less
know.
than 2 months.
Yeah. And to see how these guys really going to be. So
that's where that's where it's going to start.
Yeah.
It's going to start there. It's going to start with the strength and conditioning. It's going to start with the nutrition.
Yeah. So a lot of these coaches that hasn't been developed, now if some of these guys don't get developed now, then you could say, okay, well, hey, look, Mario or whoever not developing quarterbacks or whatever they said, the narrative around.
I know they developing, man, because like I said, like look at the linebacker that came from Miami Central.
Right.
He gets developed.
Right.
They're not using his height as a reason. It's not just the coaches, it's the player too.
True.
And if the player wants it and they got a dog mentality, I don't care where they go to school. They could go to Mizzou, they could go to UCLA, they could go to Penn State. No, it don't matter. If they got a dog mentality, they're gonna bring it.
Yeah.
Malachi Tony has a dog mentality, and he brought it. He has a work ethic.
Yeah.
That was instilled in him by his daddy at a very young age in JFL. So that's why he coming to practice early. He the last one to stay in late. He doing catching drills with the machine by himself. That's work ethic. Not everybody has that. Ruben Bain did the same thing. After practice, he was doing drills, defensive end drills after practice. He was doing the extra sprints and stuff after practice. Sean Taylor used to do the same thing after practice or an hour before practice. Certain guys are going to do that because they want it that bad.
Yeah.
They got that dog in them. And I think back to our youth, I'm like, man, not saying we didn't do that or have that. It's just, you look back and it's like, man, if the fire would have been lit a little bit more.
Yeah. I always think more back in those days, and I think a lot of it has to go back to just our generation, just in general. A lot of us played for fun. like just simple fun. We play Sandlot for fun. It wasn't as marketed as it is now.
Right.
Where you just went out, you played basketball, and then if somebody say, "Hey, we didn't have," it reminds me of a story I'll tell real quick. I had a nephew, and I never forget. This was years ago, and he wound up playing for K-State. I want to say K-State. Well, anyway, he came to me. He said, "Hey, Unc, man, I'm ranked such and such in the ESPN top 100." So I'm like, "What the hell is that?" And he said, "Oh man, I'm ranked in the top 200." I said, "Hell, that don't mean you good." He said, "Huh?" I said, "Hey man, when we played, we didn't even have cable TV and your name rung if you was good. You don't need a sports network to tell you good. You good by your peers, not by somebody don't even know you telling you good. You got people on TV and never played against you telling other people how good you are. But when that guy from another school or another state that you played against or whatever, when they say you good, then you believe you good." Yeah. That's the difference. I always say now.
Your peers.
Yeah.
You knew around the neighborhood who was good at football or hooping or wrestling or whatever. You knew. And if they went and put in even extra work, that validated things.
Yeah.
That
I'm not
elevated
taking that away from them. I was just letting them know.
You can't, because like you said, things have changed today. These kids today get trophies for second place. We didn't get none of that shit.
Man, I didn't get none of that. Say he get none of that.
We came up in a generation where, and I know this might not go well with parents today, but I've always said sportsmanship is for losers.
Yeah.
It's for the loser. That's what it's. I mean, when we won, it was like, you remember, man. It wasn't. Yeah. We played for the fun, and we played to knock somebody's head off from another school. And if it was bad blood, it was bad blood. It was bad blood.
Yeah, what it was. The weird thing I see now, before we hop back on topic, is that we didn't have a lot of friends outside at different schools or different whatever.
No.
Nobody was really friends like they are now.
The only dudes we was friends with, for real, was some of the cats that went to East, because they lived in Hazel. They lived in Hathaway, where they boarded where the Riverview Hazelwood line was, and they was down the street from Lingard and them.
Yeah.
All that side was Hazelwood.
Yeah.
But we used to play Nerf football with them and hoop with them at blackjack or whatever. So we knew them. They went to East. But outside, like you said, we didn't.
I only became friends, and this was after, like at the East West All-Star meet, when we was wrestling at the East West All-Star meet. But season was over with, and then you just, you spend the time, you wrestling with guys from other schools or whatever. So then you kind of I ain't gonna even say we were friends. I'll just say we
just get to know guys.
You got to know them.
It's no bad blood.
Yeah, but it wasn't no bad blood, because now we're not actually competing against each other. We just kind of having fun. But far as just friends, I can't really think of now after the season or whatever. You laugh, but we always throwing jabs. But it's just a different time. So
it's just a different It's a different time.
It's just a different time. I don't knock them for that. I think
the lines were more defined when we played.
Yeah.
They were way, either you here or you there. Which one is it? Because we remember the schools we had bad blood with, and it was bad, and we played for fun, but we wasn't no targeting.
I just think it keeps that edge when you just don't have friends. When you got an edge. It says Edward Patter and Clinton Portis are my picks as coaches. Okay, that's not bad.
No,
I like to say, that's going to be interesting to see what Mario does with that, because we can't say he don't bring alumni back. He brought Damian Lewis back, so
I trust Mario, man. I trust Mario to make the right decision. Plain and simple, man. I trust Mario, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah,
I think our fan base need to not worry about it. Just relax. It'll be okay.
It says, imagine if we would have had Damian Pickett Jr. from LSU at corner last year. Yeah, because he was like rookie of the year. I mean, he was SEC freshman of the year, wasn't he? I know he got some kind of honor.
That may be. I mean, we can imagine, but I ain't mad. We got some good corners.
Yeah.
Xavier Lucas is a beast. That's why Wisconsin raised hell and fought like hell not to give him up.
Yeah.
OJ grew up.
Yeah. OJ played solid.
OJ grew up. He flew. I mean, come
and
on.
played hurt.
My man. I ain't worried about O'Connor. He gonna be fine. He gonna grow up. I'm not look. This is where Mario got the young talent. He went out and got these kids, and they're freshmen. They were freshmen this year, or they were redshirt sophomores this year. And they got to experience all that.
Yeah.
How bad you want to get back to that? You came this close.
Yeah.
You came this close. You could taste it. You could touch it.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get it. You made a few too many mistakes. There were some other factors in there. Going back to that Ole Miss game, I thought that was wrong. Lucas getting that targeting call.
Yeah.
Because if he would have been in the if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. But I thought, man, if he would have been playing in the first half of that game against
Indiana,
yeah, it would have been a different game.
Yeah,
but like I said, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Mario has done a very good job with the high school.
Yeah.
Developing guys. So, okay, nobody questioned his development. I remember that was a question a couple years ago.
No, it was a question this year. Remember how
people developing guys? He's going in the portal too hard. I'm like, yay, developing guys. Look at all the dudes on the team. A lot of the guys are Florida guys, and they're dogs.
I was posed an interesting question and was asked, I think, about email. Somebody asked me, did I think he would go in the portal again next year? I say Mario do whatever he thinks that's going to make this team better. So, I mean, if he's going in the portal and Nickel not ready or Coleman not ready, yeah, he's going to do it. And then they say, well, you can kill the growth of this. And I always go back to, if they'd have won a national championship, are we bitching about the growth or are we bitching about national championships? You know, so it's that fine line that, yes, you want to develop. But it's like you and I said last week, you got a Ferrari. You need the best driver of that car. I don't care who it is. You know, I don't care if it's Coleman, if it's Nickel, or if he brings somebody else in. You find somebody that can drive this Bugatti. That's not going to wreck it, you know?
Exactly. So, and like I said, I trust what they're doing, man.
Yeah.
I trust just because you bringing in another portal quarterback does not mean you're not developing your guys. Like you said, you recognizing he ain't ready.
Yeah.
Who's the kid that came from Las Vegas, Bishop Gorman? And when Van Dyke was shitting the bed, everybody wanted him in the game so bad because he was such a high school star in Nevada. And then he came out there and he really didn't do much because he wasn't ready. And Diaz wasn't developing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he wasn't ready, but everybody wanted him. That portion of our fan base wanted him, and when they put him out there, he was excited because he ran around a little bit, but his throwing it might have been the shit in high school, but when you get on a D1 level,
yeah,
it wasn't.
And windows get tight,
and you can't be mad at Mario. It's the same thing. We're not saying Luke Nickel ain't there. He made some really good passes last year in the spring.
Yeah.
Okay. We got another spring to work.
Yeah.
Jan Coleman coming in as a raw freshman. Yeah, he might look great against high school talent, but now you playing Division I talent that just got through playing in the national championship.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what he got to go up against.
Right.
Now you're gonna see what he all about. Yeah. Same with Luke Nickel. You going up against dudes that just got through playing in the Natty, your own teammates. So if you can get out here and make some progress with them, then maybe we can see what you do against a Pitt and a Virginia Tech and a Duke and a Florida State. But I think he needs another year.
You got Judd Anderson too, still battling.
Right, Judd, and he's the tall, 6'6". He got a nice arm too.
Yeah.
Listen, man, what the fans need to understand is this: you're not going to always get a Bryce Young. You're not going to always get Goldilocks that was at Clemson. I keep forgetting his name, man.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
These dudes was once in a couple every year. You ain't seen a quarterback yet that's a freshman that they've been talking about like they talked about Trevor Lawrence and Bryce Young.
Right.
ESPN ain't talked about no other freshman quarterback since them two been gone. Name me one right now that they've been raving about that come right in to a top-tier program that done played for national championships like Clemson and Bama was doing and could start right away. Could start, that means they get there before the spring, participate in spring, have one-on-ones with their receivers over the summer, go into the fall, and I'm an 18-year-old freshman, and I'm starting for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Not only am I starting, we're fucking winning.
I guess the only argument somebody might say Jameis Winston, maybe, but
he was before them. I'm talking about since Bryce Young.
Since them. Okay, yeah.
You haven't heard any D1 school talk about a freshman quarterback coming in to start.
Yeah.
Right away. That's been that good. These type of guys don't come along all the time.
Only other guy I could think that I see right now that came in was Underwood in Michigan. I think he's really talented.
He's talented, but
I don't know if he's on that level.
Either that or he in the wrong system.
Yeah.
Everything lined up right for Clemson and Bama. Why? Yeah. Because they had the right OCs and the right quarterback coaches that helped develop this 18-year-old from the spring all the way up to game one.
Yeah.
That makes a major difference.
Yeah.
Notre Dame quarterback was a freshman, but he really wasn't a freshman because he was there last year.
Sayer was a freshman, but
I'm talking about a raw kid coming straight out of high school.
Yeah, I don't think nobody's saying got the talent as Trevor Lawrence and them. Yeah, I don't think Sayer.
Trevor Lawrence was so good, they told Kelly Bryant, you might as well go and transfer.
Yeah, Kelly, he was.
Dabo said, see you later, partner. And you just won me an ACC title the year before.
Yeah.
And he went to Missouri.
Yep, I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Kelly Bryant packed up
and I was like, damn, how you getting rid? Because Kelly Bryant balled.
People was mad because they got Dabo said, no, I know what I got.
Yeah.
I got a fucking Lamborghini right here that's ready to go.
Yeah.
And Trevor Lawrence came in, and what they do, his freshman year, I think they went to the national championship.
I believe
same with Bryce Young. Come in, Nick knew what he had saving. I'm like, I got a damn Porsche that's ready to go now.
Yeah.
I've got everything is in place. This dude is everything we need. He's ready right now. And you ain't seen no quarterback in the D1 level since Bryce Young come into any college.
Not that I think about top of my head. If y'all know somebody, put it in the chat.
If I'm drawing a blank, tell me, but I can't think of no other school since Bryce Young left Alabama where they said this dude, as a freshman out of high school, was ready to go and take this program, not a lower tier or medium tier, the top tier team in the SEC or the ACC with Trevor Lawrence. We're going to start. You starting. Matter of fact, you so good, I'm going to take the quarterback that I got.
And get rid of
and tell him.
So it definitely got to grow.
Come on, man.
You ain't you're right. Ain't too many quarterbacks. Yeah.
None.
Yeah, they too many. Yeah.
So you can't. So all these Luke Nickel fans, Luke Nickel was cold in high school. Mr. Georgia, 2-year state champion twice. That don't mean he gonna come out here and do the same thing against Pitt.
Right.
Or the same thing against NC State.
Hey, because if he was, I'm gonna tell you this.
He'd have been out there. They wouldn't have went and got
Mario
old boy.
Would have put that boy out of there, just like he put Malachi out there and took old boy's spot.
Took Ray job right from him.
He would have put him right on out there.
Ray so upset. Luke so upset he transferred.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, Ray.
Yeah.
As good as you are, baby Jesus is that much better.
Yeah.
You was returning kicks, Ray. I'm not taking nothing away from him.
No.
He was supposed to be the truth.
Right.
But something didn't pan out. Then they want to blame Mario. Well, Mario didn't do this, and Luke mad at what gives? Because if Malachi could come in and just take the fuck over,
not take over just because of what you saw what he did.
You saw what he could do, but it started with his daddy. It started with his daddy when he was 6 and 7 years old. His father groomed him to this position. Dude was 8 years old on video throwing touchdowns in JFL. He was looking all world as an 8-year-old. So you knew he was going to be special.
Yeah. Somebody said, well, we thought Lagway. Somebody thought Lagway was going to be that. Yeah, we really thought Lagway was going to be that.
Lagway was that.
Yeah.
It was, oh boy.
man, what's the ex-Florida coach? I know his name too. But yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Napier.
Yeah, Billy Napier. Yeah.
Florida had talent.
Yeah.
People shit on the Gators. I'm like, no. They O-line was legit. They got 2 dudes
D-line was
in the
legit.
NFL. They D-line was legit. They had that's why
So he said shitty Napier.
Napier was a hell of a recruiter.
Yeah.
He could recruit too. It's just his coaching was not there.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just it left a lot to be desired. But don't get it twisted. People shit on the Gators like the Gators was horrible. The Gators had talent.
Yeah.
They had talent on both sides of the ball. They running back is arguably the best. Yeah. Ball is probably the best running back in the country all the way around. I love Fletcher.
Yeah.
I like him. I like old boy at Missouri.
Yeah.
I like old boy Lacey at Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, yeah.
But old boy at Florida, shit.
Yeah.
He is all that. All the way around. Blocking, running, passing. This dude here, you put him in the right, he the best running back in the country, bar none.
Hey, not to hop off topic, what do you think of Malzahn retired?
He got off a sinking ship, dog. He knew that ship was going down.
That's what I was thinking. I thought the same thing. I think he said once little midget didn't come back, Castellanos didn't come back.
He ain't come back at quarterback? I thought he was coming back from Florida State.
No, I thought he got denied.
He did?
Yeah, I don't think Castellanos coming back.
Castellanos?
Yeah, Castellanos. Yeah, I don't think he's coming back.
I can't blame that man for leaving. What I'm gonna say? If I'm not gonna be, maybe he wanted to be the head coach and they wouldn't make him the head coach.
Oh,
he was at Central Florida.
Yeah.
And then he took the OC job at Florida State.
Yeah.
Remember, Malzahn ain't a bad coach.
No.
Auburn, he took Auburn.
Yeah.
He did some things with Auburn, but you had Nick Marshall.
Yeah.
You had De La Soul's son at running back.
Yeah, I thought when I seen he retired, I said, well, I think once the quarterback didn't come back, it's some personnel issues going on in Florida State. Then the bombshell article about the $400 million or whatever it was debt that they had with the stadium and all that stuff that's going on. And
5-7 University, I got to go.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on.
5-7 University. I got to go. And what was my man name who came there that was at Western Kentucky that went to Oregon that came to the brother? And they blamed him for such a shit season that year. Everybody need to understand it's not so much the coaches, it's the school. Same with the Gators. It's the school. The Florida leadership, they want it now. They want to win now.
Yeah.
Y'all done had umpteen coaches and don't give them time to do nothing.
Yeah. Or give them the support.
Or give them the support they need.
Yeah.
Muschamp was the coach there at Florida. Now where did Muschamp go?
Muschamp wasn't bad. I didn't think he wasn't bad.
But it's like it's like anything, any job, any professional team. If you got ownership and leadership that's not committed, look at the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I feel so bad for all my Miami fans. I'm a Dolphin fan too, but I'm like, you know what? I take it with a grain of salt. I'm a Dolphin fan. Jesus Christ, they not committed to winning. You give up, you get rid of all your best players. When they got rid of Jalen Phillips to the Eagles, I'm like, what the hell was they thinking about? You got rid of your best tight end last year. You gave him to the Steelers. I'm like, what are y'all thinking about? Y'all was all in the Tua basket, put everything. That concussion finished Tua. And they're not committed to winning. You could tell even professional teams, the teams that are committed to winning are going to put forth the assets and resources to do so.
Hey, don't act like Miami fans. Y'all don't forget. Well, we went through the same thing where Miami wasn't committed.
They didn't give a damn about
winning.
football. Hey, shit, we don't care. When they finally got on that page, not everybody on the same page, they committed because they know the football is going to draw the students.
Yeah.
You're going to get the smart kids.
Willie Taggart. That's it. Somebody put it in there.
Taggart,
That's who it was. Yeah. Boy, they tried to blame a lot on old Willie.
He wasn't bad at Western Kentucky.
Nah.
He wasn't a bad coach. I worked with a guy that played for him that went to Hazelwood East.
Yeah.
Graduated and went to Western Kentucky on a scholarship and played for Taggart. Taggart wasn't a bad coach.
Right. I'm going to say, I didn't think Taggart was bad either. It just,
and he caught the blame for all that shit down there in Florida State. When really Jimbo left it in a mess.
Yeah, Jimbo
left it in a real mess. But you know what? That's y'all problem up in Tallahassee.
Because then he got out of there and then he wrecked Texas A&M and then
we had our problems. Miami had their problems. Those problems are behind us.
Yeah.
And I think Mario doing a good job of keeping other problems away.
Yeah. But that tells you the importance of having an administration behind you, not just the fan base, because the fan base, the president, the university, the fan base, and the alumni.
Right.
You need all of those kind of hand in hand, because your donors will come in and all that. It all ties in.
I think that's what ultimately sabotaged Al Golden. I never disliked Al Golden. I know a lot of people was down on him. He could recruit, but he had his hands tied. Coming in behind all that shit, behind Randy Shannon. Not blaming Randy Shannon for anything, but Al Golden had a plan. He had that book with the 8 pillars of his idea, man, and he had some squads. They weren't bad. He had personnel, man. It's just he couldn't keep a consistent OC, and he kept his homie as a DC, and that defense just didn't work. And I felt bad when he got fired. I could tell the frustration. It was just, and the school didn't care, man. They didn't care.
Right. Yeah.
They didn't care, man. When they got throttled by Clemson that year and they finally let him go, it was like, man, they using that man as a scapegoat, man. He catching all the blame, but that president didn't care. That AD didn't care. They didn't give a shit. The alumni the boosters wasn't there. They didn't care about football, man. That was crazy. All around bad. Look how it's reversed the whole 180 up till now, man. So I ain't mad at Al Golden. I mean, he the DC with the Bengals now, So he had Notre Dame's defense turned around. And I felt like if he would have still been at Notre Dame,
who was that?
Al Golden, when he was okay. I'm like, okay, he had them boys, and then he left. He left for the NFL. I mean, can't be mad. Now he with the Bengals. So anyway, I think what Cristobal is doing as an evaluator, not just of talent, of character, the kind of kids he want to bring in, not just from the high school ranks, but from the transfer portal ranks too. They wasn't just taking anybody. You think they didn't? No. They evaluated Keontae Scott. They evaluated Jacoby Thomas, and they fit the mold, man.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing when I think back of the transfer portal and getting back on that is that I sat back and I was like, okay, you got all these different facets going on between the players, between the coaches, the NIL people that's getting squads out the picture, kind of how that's why we got all these lawsuits going on right now with, Trinidad Chambliss trying to get an extra year.
That's another thing I was going to ask.
Yeah.
I wonder what the criteria is for some of these kids to get a waiver to come back, if it's outside of an injury from a previous season, to why they don't, because they wouldn't give Chambliss one.
Chambliss didn't submit the proper medical paperwork.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
That's what they're saying.
Markel Bell was trying to come back.
Right.
And they denied him. That's why he went in the draft. He was wanting to come back another year for Miami and play right tackle, left tackle.
Yeah.
And he didn't get the waiver.
The Trinidad Chambliss thing is now they're going to Mississippi State Court to try to hold it up.
Tennessee quarterback. What's his name?
Aguilar.
Yep. He's trying to get another year.
Yeah.
Castellanos with Florida State. He didn't get another year.
No.
They denied him.
And I think that he's going to run it. I think Aguilar probably going to run in the same situation that Tommy did. Tommy did, because wasn't Tommy the situation where he played didn't he play JUCO or something?
I believe he did.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Aguilar played like 2 years of JUCO or something like that.
Trying to, and people are saying JUCO shouldn't count. but junior college, falls under NCAA
Yeah.
rules.
I'm gonna say it like this, and this is going to take it out of the football realm. You have other sports like wrestling, maybe some smaller sports. They compete against JUCO schools because of some of those sports don't compete on all.
Swimming,
Yeah.
basketball,
So some of these guys at JUCO are competing against
track.
Division I talent. So you competing against and I ain't talking about just one meet. You might compete against them in wrestling. I think you might have like 2 or 3 dual meets if you go to a JUCO school against big time Division I talents, Iowa, Illinois, them schools. So you playing these guys or you wrestling against these guys or whatever. So how can it count in this sport and don't count in that sport? That's where you start getting into the sticking point. So I don't know about that. That's going to be, I think it should count, but, just because
I would think so because it's,
don't the regular one count? Division II count, don't it? So, I mean, Division III count.
I mean, even when I was following Flo Valley, St. Louis Community College basketball, they was playing like Mineral area.
Yeah.
We went up to Iowa, to Bloomington. They got a big time JUCO basketball in Burlington, Iowa. They got a big time school up there in Iowa. That's really big time. I didn't realize Iowa was that big in the hoops.
Yeah.
They got a big time JUCO hoop school in Burlington, Iowa. And they went up there to play them. And it's like, hey, this was the stepping stone to a D1 school was to go there. Okay. Or to a mineral area. And there's another school, I think, in Jeff City that's big time junior college basketball. Okay. And that's the next step to a Mizzou or to a Kansas or something. And they under the NCAA, even Flo Valley with all the banners hanging in there.
Yeah.
It was NCAA. And this is community college.
Yeah.
But it's a 4-year school. If you want to go to community college for 4 years and get a degree, it still fall under the NCAA regulations.
It's weird how they try to say it. Don't they say, y'all know they brought in Comrade Bussey for $0 NIL dollars. I wonder if he plays, will they break him off? Hey.
What position he play?
Comrade Bussey. You looking him up here?
I'm going to look up this 26, 27 roster because I was looking at the 26, 25, 26.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He came up from Florida State. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's him.
Yeah. I don't know if they'll break him off this year, if that's your question, unless they already got it worked out. If they already brought him in, they got something worked out. I would think. You have to find out one of those guys that know more about the NIL portion. But I would think that when they brought him in, he transferred over from the portal. They probably worked out some package with him now. Whether it's a 1-year package for the NIL, because people forget that NIL rights is totally separate from the school aspect. The NIL is, of course, name, image, and likeness. That governs your marketing rights. Has nothing to do with what you do for as classes and all. It doesn't really bind the schools together. That's how Menza was able to get out of that, because they was trying to stop him, kind of like old boy from USC the year from coming, because you can't tell a player he can't go to school. That's why they tried to. Another reason
went through with Wisconsin. Too.
With Wisconsin, but that's another reason they shortened that portal up too. I think because now, if you don't get in, you can't enroll in school now. So there's a lot of factors in play with that. So yeah, I would think they worked something out with Bussey. So
I would think so.
Now I don't know what year is he. I don't know what year. What's his year? I don't know how long it would be. Let's see. It said veteran safety. Somebody put it in chat. What year is he? Because I'm not sure. But I say it's so tricky when you get in all that, and like I say, that's why they got the NIL lawyers. I've been trying to get a couple of them to come talk to me, but it's a lot of trickery that goes on in that, and I think that the NCAA trying to get a grip on that. But then, like you said, you run into these lawsuits where guys they know they can't go pro or they won't go high in the draft. And they're trying to come back and trying to get these exemptions and waivers and medical waivers and all this other stuff. And I don't know how you guys out there feel about some of these guys coming back. If you hurt, legitimately hurt, red shirt, whatever. But I don't know about guys, like you say, going to junior college and then trying to get 4 years of college of Division I football, because it's still college. They call it junior college. They don't call it junior or whatever. It's still college. So you're not competing against high school kids. So I mean, you're competing against some of the best. You still got some guys that was, all state that maybe didn't work out that's going to junior college, and of whatever.
Well, I saw another video. There's a D tackle that plays for the Bulls down at Northwestern. They said he was defensive player of the year down there.
That's what I'm saying.
And he going to FAMU. I'm like, did Miami not look at him? Did Florida not look at him? I mean, I don't know the situation. It could be grades or something. I don't know. I mean,
right.
Not every kid can go to Miami because, again, it's an academic private school. You got to have the grades.
Right.
I'm not saying this kid do or don't. I'm just saying he was defensive player of the year at defensive tackle in high school. And he was top 50 in the state, I think top 50 player. And they said he committed to FAMU, or maybe he just wanted to go to HBCU.
Yeah, he could have.
Maybe they gave him a nice little NIL to come. Hey man, come to the black college. I ain't mad at him.
Yeah,
it's a lot of studs on FAMU and Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah, that's what will be interesting to figure out, because I think a lot of us as fans and stuff, and even I heard some stuff behind the scenes, is that we assume that all these players are getting decent money. Some of these players are not getting what the top percentile is getting, So we'll see the Carson Beck on the squad, but we ain't thinking about, the guy that's what's my man that Gerard that came off the practice squad, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm pretty sure his bag is nowhere near what Beck was getting. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a lot of decision making that goes into a lot of this stuff, and how much money you want to allocate to a guy that's third string to a first stringer, because everybody think they first string. So even a third stringer, that's the thing. When we go back to the portal, hey, they might offer me $100K. I might only be getting $50K here, $75K, So do I take the $100K? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
but
like I said, you better be about something when it come to playing, because everybody can't be a Luther Burden. Everybody can't be a Malachi Tony or a Reuben Bain or a Carson Beck. All right.
True.
Everybody, now if you're a good receiver, like let's say Isaiah Horton, a lot of people was upset that he left Miami to go to Bama.
Right.
I said Bama came in and offered him two things. Number one, who's going to be a quarterback next year? Because your boy gone to the NFL. Number two, we're going to give you a nice bag. I don't think Miami going to match the bag we offering you.
Right.
So bounce. He goes to Bama. He didn't have a bad year at Bama, catching touchdowns, but I think it didn't work out the way he wanted to with the coaches.
Right.
Some ain't right in Alabama.
Yeah.
Them players quit on them in that game against Indiana. That was embarrassing, bro. That was embarrassing.
They quit on him in the Florida State game. If people could go back and
that
watch.
Was the first game of the year. That should have told everybody something then.
Yeah.
Was DeBoer the right choice? Maybe y'all should have went after Dabo?
DeBoer is real tricky, because I think the fan base never got behind him when Saban left. I think this is my personal opinion.
The only person they would have got behind would have been Dabo, because he went there. He won a natty with them in '93. He's alumni. I don't think maybe the timing wasn't right. Maybe Alabama didn't want to pay the money someone to Clemson to get him out of that contract.
Yeah, because
he
had just signed. He had like a 10-year contract, didn't he?
Right. Maybe the buyout was too much for Alabama to pay. I can't see anybody else being the head coach at Alabama but Dabo Swinney. I really can't, man. That ship and sailed with Clemson. I know he's gonna try to hold on tight and try to get it back, but I think the writing been on the wall for him that, you know what, you had a good run. You went to 4 national championships. You won 2 of them. You won like 10 ACC titles in a row.
And
you dominated.
You said Dabo or Kirby. I ain't think about that. Yeah, they'd have got behind Kirby too.
They would have got behind Kirby, but Kirby locked in with Georgia now.
Yeah.
Georgia ain't letting that dude go.
Yeah.
Shit, no. You crazy? They throw so much money at Kirby Smart, he'll forget all about Alabama.
Yeah, he's an alumni.
I don't think Clemson, I don't know how many years that Dabo is into this contract with Clemson, but I figure after this year, man, I don't see Bama doing much. And
Clemson,
I don't see Clemson doing much.
Because Klubnik gone, isn't he?
Klubnik gone.
Yeah.
He wasn't all that to begin with. That's why I tell people don't pay attention to these people. They had a lot of them had Clemson in the national championship.
Yeah.
They had LSU in the national championship. They was on Nussmeier's nuts.
Hey, remember we did a video on Clemson being overrated.
Yep.
A lot of people thought we was crazy for doing that.
Yep.
We did a whole video. Yeah. Before the season even started, guys, if you guys go back and look and you can find the video, we did a video on them being overrated.
Overrated Clemson. I said, they ain't going to be all that. LSU, I don't think LSU going to be all that this year. They trying to buy their way into this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really do. I really think I don't think LSU going to be all right. I think the team to watch in the SEC will be a Auburn.
You think so?
You got that young coach coming in there. He know how to coach and he know how to motivate his players, man.
He said, what about Signetti? You know all about the recent bias. Expand on that when you say, what about Signetti?
I don't know much about him. I'm not saying he a bad coach because he went to JMU. He did his thing there. He came to Indiana. Now, granted, he did the same thing that Norvell did. It's just he had a better coaching staff than Norvell. And he had older guys than Norvell. And last year they got close. And this year they finally did it.
Oh, he said Bama would accept him, Signetti. You know? I don't think
so. It's a possibility because he's an assistant for Saban. He come out of the tree.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, you got to remember the cable sports network going to regurgitate that.
Right.
Everybody come out of Saban tree.
Right.
Well, you could say the same thing about Jimmy. Look how many games come out of Jimmy tree that end up going and becoming coaches.
Yeah. So I mean, if that's the case with their sick Dan Lanning, or you know what I'm saying, and so you got a lot of guys. You know,
I just think Dabo is the right guy because not only is he alumni, they won a national championship with that team.
Right.
Graduated from Alabama. I feel like it's a perfect fit it's got to line up right, and I'm thinking it's going to start to get there. Plus, a lot of politics playing in this shit too. Man.
And on top of that, if we say that too, is because I think Dabo is, to me personally, is a better recruiter than Signetti. Signetti used transfer portal. Yeah. He used evaluating
Dabo,
and it's nothing.
If Dabo were to go back to Alabama, then I would tell everybody in the SEC, y'all need to be worried again.
Yeah.
Y'all need to be worried because that man know how to recruit and he got that A behind him.
He got the money behind him too.
And that money, I said, he going to be the Saban part two.
He said, so if we would have won, what do you think? So if we would have won, where do you think they would have ranked us? Because I think we should have been ranked in at least be the top 2. Still with the players that we have coming back. Okay.
Nope. I don't think so. I don't think so, Dwayne. Because it's who we are. People got to understand something. Until they prove me otherwise, that cable sports network is not like this school.
But I'm going to say this. I think the rankings was off a little bit, Gio, because we didn't have a quarterback. That's why I think that rankings came out before they got Menza.
Yep.
So a lot of that factors in too.
Go back now. Yeah. Now when you go on YouTube and watch all of them talk,
right,
they tune a little different now.
Yeah, so I think that kind of factored in too. And it was really impressive how you get ranked that high. You don't even have a quarterback. You know, so that's the way I took it. I took it kind of like a spin because I kept saying, Mario gonna get somebody. I don't know how he gonna pull it off, but you know, it just kind of that's another thing that they got to factor in too. You got people playing in championship games. The portal window was real short on these guys. They can't even get out and recruit for the portal. You know what I'm saying? So that's another factor that factors in now of the portal. So you know, he was kind of hamstrung that, you know, I know he went at the limit.
You're dealing with playoffs.
Yeah. He had to send other people out to do it where he couldn't actually close the deal with some of these players, you know. Now,
listen, Miami came out the best on this. Levitt is hurt. LSU gambling on him and he's hurt. He won't even be able to participate in their spring.
Yeah, we went through that.
Sorsby is good. I wanted him. But he went to Texas Tech where his girlfriend is.
Yeah, can't fault him for that.
All right. Menza was the next. I think Menza better than both of them, statistically. Number 2 in the country behind Mendoza in passes and touchdowns.
Big arm.
And what he did the year before at Tulane was stupid.
Yeah, big arm, mobile. He's not a, you know, get out and pick him up, put him down guy, but he's mobile enough where he's
mobile enough where he can get around, and he's like Cam a little bit.
Yeah, he's mobile, big arm, and he got, like I say, he got Ferraris out there. Just get him the ball. That's all you got to do. You got guys out there that's playmakers.
You brought your Ferrari with you from Duke, your receiver, 1,000-yard receiver. He gonna draw attention. What's that gonna do?
Yeah,
that's gonna give Malachi one-on-one in the open field.
Right.
Well, if they want to continue to bracket Malachi, he gonna be one-on-one.
Yeah, I think
he got 1,000 yards for nothing.
To shut down Malachi and make other people beat him, and then once they do that, then that's when you'll really see the offense flourish. And I think they're going to try to make other guys beat them at the beginning of the season, and then once they figure out and these guys get their foot in and everything. But actually, that could backfire them too because Menza and his receiver already have a connection. So you know that's crazy too. It says, "Do you guys understand how great this RPO game going to be with Menza? He's going to be. I think it's going to be good. That you know, I worry a little bit with the RPO because I just don't like quarterbacks taking unnecessary hits. But I think it's going to be good once he knows that, hey, you don't have to be Superman, you know.
They ain't got to run a lot of RPO.
Right.
I got dogs behind me I can get a ball to.
Yeah. But it could be a wrinkle, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I think Dawson's going to be that much better next year.
Oh, yeah.
I love Carson Beck. I'm going to say it again. I'm a big Carson Beck fan. I empathize and sympathize when he got hurt, when he decided to come to Miami. All the hate he got from Georgia people. He even got knocked by our own people.
Yeah.
And I knew with that arm being the way it was, he couldn't make that deep pass like he probably could have made before the injury. Because he was making them before the injury. Everybody go on YouTube and watch that Georgia-Bama game from 2024. Mm-hmm. That was that big game that Saturday night. I went down to the Friday night game with Virginia Tech, and the next day that was that, and Georgia was losing big, and they came back in the second half on Beck's arm. He was lighting Alabama ass up in that second.
Right, yeah.
Everybody forgot that. That was before that injury. So, yeah. And he did. Look, without Carson Beck, Miami don't even get past A&M.
Right. Because one thing Carson Beck brought, even though he took a lot of hate, is that stability. And he knew, since he had played in so many big games, he kind of knew, don't make the big mistake in the playoffs. If you notice, he changed up as it got on that run. He started taking off more. He tried to avoid the big sacks, and he definitely tried to avoid the big interception. Yep. These are the seasoned quarterbacks where they've been through this, and they have to change it up. Look, we don't need this big bomb to, we need this check down. A lot of people hate the check down, all season. He's checking down. check downs can do a lot for you in big games.
Chains moving.
Yeah, that's right. Right. A lot of people get stuck into that.
Check down, keep the chains moving.
Hey, that's that old. See, now you're showing your age because that's old Tecmo Bowl. You know, I'll run 3 yards, 4 plays. That's first down.
Yeah, right.
Shoot.
I don't care if I got to throw it a couple yards here, a couple yards there. Are the chains moving? Do I still have the ball? Okay.
Right, right. So I think the offense is going to be really explosive. It's going to be interesting to see what Dawson does with this once he figure out what Menza does in his offense, because it's one thing to look at it and Manny Diaz's offense and then, bring it over to what we like to do over here on the Miami side, because, we got home run hitters, bruising backs, and a lot better receivers.
I think it's not the RPO, man. It's the play action.
Yeah.
That's what's going to be killer. Not the RPO, the play action. Because let's say Dawson come out throwing the rock and it's successful. All right? What's that going to open up? That's going to open up big running lanes for Fletcher, because they're going to be worried about Malachi, old boy and these other receivers, my man that came from Duke. They're going to be so worried about them. Safety's going to be back deep. Linebacker's going to be worried about tight end. All I got to do is hand the ball off.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you start creeping up, now I'm going to go play action on you. That shit works all day.
Somebody said, do y'all remember we criticized Cam for not checking the ball down a lot? Hey, I did too, because I was like, hey, just check the ball down, man.
Cam wants to kill you, boy.
But see, this is the thing where we go back and just say this, because as the season went on, if you notice, some teams will just drop it 8 back in coverage all the time. Just dropping them back. And you got to take the check downs and keep the chains moving. You got to force him out of that defense. So that was a frustration that I had. Love Cam, and I understand he's a gunslinger. That it is what it is with Cam, But to get where we need to be, yeah, you got to keep those moving.
That first game against Florida,
yeah,
they ain't been the same since. I saw a video on that. It said the Florida Gators ain't been the same since that game.
But especially when they was heckling they recruits, telling them to come to university.
Y'all go here.
Oh man,
Florida has not been the same since, and that's and we got so caught up in that game. Like, what do we have here?
You're right.
It's gonna be trash, but
oh man.
Oh my God, what do we have here? Because Cam was just, man.
Oh man, he was hey, look, coming to that season, I'll be honest with you with the Cam. I didn't know what he was going to bring.
I didn't know either until after that first game. I said, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, that's one thing I'm saying. If once Dawson figure out what he's going to do, he's then changed his style for every quarterback he had.
Right.
He, and the more explosive quarterbacks he get explosive with, the ones he know he got to curtail. So it's just one of those things. Is how long will it take him to figure it out? I know 850 Kane's in the comments probably finna go crazy because he don't like Dawson, but I still say, hey,
I like Dawson. Who you gonna get besides him? Who out there? People say Dorsey. Dorsey ain't coming into the college ranks. Kenny ain't coming. Who you gonna get? I like Dawson. Like Dawson. The only other coordinator I like was is Washington head coach. He ain't never coming back. He a coach now.
Yeah.
So, Rob Trzcinski retired. He ain't coming out of coaching because his style of coaching was the old school.
Malzahn? Huh? You take Malzahn? Shoot. But why would he go? That's a lateral move.
Why would he come to Miami unless you threw a bag? For what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We don't need, look, we good.
Right. I agree.
We good. I mean, come on, y'all. We are really good.
I agree.
We good. We need to find a ways to hold on to them.
Yeah, because I tell you what, And if he go out,
if they win it all this year, Dawson may be gone after this year.
I would say if they win 10 games, 10, 11 games, he's going to be gone.
They might be on him. They might be on Heatherman. And I know Cristobal don't want to lose that because we done built something now, but we're going to be in the conversation. We're going to be Miami in the conversation now to where this is a playoff team every year.
Yeah.
With the talent they got coming in, these high school kids coming in this cycle, the ones they already looking at and already got a few committed for the 2027 cycle, he is planning for the future. He ain't trying to plan for right now.
Right.
He laying the seeds down for the next 5 years. Miami gonna make runs over these next 5 seasons to finish out his 10-year career, his 10-year contract. And after that, who knows? I ain't worried about 5 years from now because that make him 58. But I ain't anyway. But from now till the end, these next 5 years, I expect Miami to be top 10, top 5 program playoff team every season now.
Yeah.
No more of this. We behind Florida State. We behind Clemson. No more losing to North Carolina. Everybody doing this type. No, we got to punish all these teams.
Yeah.
This punish time now. All that in the past, all that with Syracuse and all those tough losses to North Carolina. Oh, no. We lost some tough games to North Carolina.
I would say this. Play North Carolina this year? Yeah, don't we play North Carolina? Yeah. I would say this. After that SMU loss, they started playing championship football. It's like something clicked on them. They started understanding that they had to, because that was my biggest thing. We could say you got the best roster. You got to play like a championship team. They started playing it, and now they got so close. They know what it takes to be a championship team. I think you're going to see what you're saying, where they're going to want to come out and punish teams
Mario
next year.
is smart enough to know if I get the right high school kids in here to be around that, the veteran juniors and seniors on the team that got to the Natty, somebody like a Mark Fletcher that came back, he could have went pro.
Yeah.
He could have went pro. He ain't nothing but another Derrick Henry, not quite as good as Derrick Henry, but he another Derrick Henry type. He could have went, he come back.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys come back. They could, they could have left.
Right.
And this is what the young incoming freshmen see. The red shirt freshmen are seeing, hey, look, if we put in the work, we gonna win.
Right.
You think other schools wasn't trying to throw Malachi a bag to lead?
I already heard they was, yeah.
Oh my God. Oregon, Alabama, and Georgia was trying to throw this dude lottery money.
Right, yeah.
Lottery money to leave.
No.
Any other person that would have been weak would have took that. They was throwing Malachi stupid money to leave Miami. No, he Miami bred, Miami born and raised. He wasn't leaving.
Right.
He wasn't leaving. My daddy from here. My daddy played ball here. My come up with Devin Hester. All these cats, Miami, they ain't going. Mario doing the right thing. He know he can't keep everybody in South Florida, but if I get a few of these dogs from Miami Central, from Booker T, from Northwestern, from St. Thomas Aquinas, from IMG, let me get a few dogs from around South Florida, Dade and Broward. Shit.
And matter of fact, when we get out of, they can't throw enough money because Miami got enough money from outside forces to keep him. To keep him. All right, guys, we get ready to wrap this on up, man. We appreciate everybody locking in. Everybody enjoy that Super Bowl tomorrow.
Who y'all got tomorrow?
Yeah, who y'all got tomorrow? Put it in the chat. Let me know who y'all got. We'll be back.
I wish the Rams was in it, but I don't dislike the Seahawks. I don't know, man. At first I was leaning toward New England, but I'm like, Seahawks got defense.
That defense, man. I was leaning, but I was just like, somebody put New England.
I mean, I can see it, man. If he got time to throw the rock.
Yeah, because Drake, man, ain't playing bad.
Ain't no joke, man.
Yeah, he ain't playing bad.
But
that's what I'm saying.
Ain't either, man, with that defense. And they ain't. I thought with Njigba getting hurt, they would lose a step, and they haven't.
Yeah.
that's what's impressed me with Seattle. So I'm just hoping for a good game, man.
Me too. I'm hoping for a good game.
For a good game. You know, my wife kind of bummed the Chiefs ain't didn't make the playoffs. And
tell her don't worry about them. They ain't even in Missouri no more. Tell her that.
A lot of people bummed that the Rams didn't get in because there's still a lot of Rams fans. So I just hope for a good game, man. Just a good game and a good atmosphere.
Hey, all right. He said, I'm a Niner fan, but I'm going to go with Seattle. I'm a Niner fan, too. It pains me to say that, but yeah, it is what it is. All right, we're going to wrap up out of here, man. We appreciate everybody. We'll be back here Saturday, or unless we drop something early during the week. And until then, got any questions, comments, email me, zonesports@gmail.com.
Like button, share the content.
Thank you, there.
Hopefully the Miami basketball team, they teetering on even right now, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
I'm not mad at him, but I think he's got the right kids and got better kids coming in. It's gonna take a little time for this to come together. So
all right, we out. Somebody put down.